Hello and welcome to Fog War Games. As promised, another video. This time it's something a bit different. We've done bolt action before, we've done some basing. Now we're going to do some black powder. I've been wanting to start this set for a while, almost a year, but the numbers put me off. It's the British Waterloo set for the black powder game. I did record actually building the figures because I thought they're only 3 pieces to put together. How hard could they be? But there's a lot, so you're not going to have to go through all of that. As I said, there are only 3 pieces for each figure, and then they all go on to either a base of 4 or a base of 2. What I would say is, yes, they're simple to build, but you probably will need to do some cleanup. As you know, I don't normally do a lot of cleanup, certainly don't do mould lines, etc. But I did need to do a bit of cleaning where I'd cut from the sprues and stuff like that. So just bear that in mind if you're planning to start Napoleonics black powder. So let's get into it. They're all built, not the whole set, just the British Infantry for now. They're all built, they're undercoated, so let's get on into the painting. I'm just going to do 4 models because otherwise we're going to be here for days, and I certainly don't have enough room on my phone to record all of that. So I'm just going to show you, I've done a test model, or test models should I say, and just to make sure I was happy with what I was doing, and then I'm going to do a 4 on camera for you guys. As you know, this isn't a painting tutorial, this is just how I did it, and how quickly I did it without going into too much detail. And there is a bit of detail on them and you could go bonkers like most things, but I've decided to keep it fairly simple because I want to get these built so that me and Tim from Witch and Wolf Miniatures can finally start doing some battle reports for the Waffy podcast. Yeah, it's probably going to take me a while, but we'll get them done, ready for battle reports, as well as other miniatures as well. So let's get into it. Okay, so here we are. As you can see, I've got them all built, undercoated as best I could on a very, very cold winter's day. As I said, they did take a little while to build, even though they're 3 pieces, which are the body, heads and backpack. There is a lot of cleanup. I've not done everything. As you can see, there's a little knob on some of the backpacks where I just haven't quite cleaned it up enough. But what I will say is the heads are probably the most fiddly bit. They're not like others where it's a bit of a ball and socket to put in. It's just a flat surface, so that is somewhere where you definitely will need to clean up just to make the whole gluing process easier for you. As you can see here, I've done a few tests on here just to get the colours down. Bit of a tidy up needed, as you can sort of see, but I mean, if we were to play tomorrow, I'd be happy to put them out. You know, they're yeah, I'm quite pleased with those actually. I didn't know whether it was easier to paint them as the 4 or keep them individual. Some do come, you put them on a 2 base. It's just how the bases all work out. There is a couple on individual bases there, but that's because I fucked up basically on bases and put the wrong 4 on the wrong size bases effectively. So I ended up destroying one before getting the others off. But no, I'm quite happy with those. Yeah, so I'm going to show you how I painted these, so that it hopefully makes it less daunting for you doing it if it's your first time. As I said, I've had this kit for a while and the numbers have really put me off. I know some of you out there love painting and building lots of military figures in one go. For me, because time is a bit limited with you know, the sheep family and all that sort of stuff, and the store, it does get difficult. So yeah, it's put me off, but I decided over Christmas I'll get some of them built and start getting them some of them painted. I've used Army Painter war paints mostly. I've got a Vallejo brass. They're just for a very small brassy patch on the chest, and also a few buckles kind of, and the scabbard bit poking out the bottom. So yeah, but you can get all of these on the store. These I think, yeah, bar the steel metallics, maybe, I could be wrong, all these are from the American history set that Army Painter do. I've got the red flag for the jackets, white, black, I've got boot brown for a few straps, I've got rifle brown, rosy skin, ensign blue for small bits like the cuffs and collars, and stuff like that. For the trousers, they're a greyish colour, and the reason they're a bit patchy on these is I painted them a slightly lighter grey, wasn't particularly happy with them, so made it a bit darker, but I'll go through all of that. But again, that is, I'd say, that kind of the mixing bit just of the white and black, that can be up to you. You can make them as dark or as light as you want to, really. The main things really for the British are the red coats, I'd say, so I just focus on those. Yes, there's a lot of white on these, but hence why I undercoated them white, just to help me out a little bit, and I do leave the white belts and braces and stuff once I've done like the reds and the blacks and stuff like that, mainly the reds, but and then what I tend to do is then go up and touch them up after. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so for this I'm going to use a synthetic brush. If any of you have watched the Waffy podcast, I had a bit of a revelation over Christmas, funny enough, painting these, and I started off using the Artisopus brushes, which are the Kolinsky sable-haired brushes, and I think just because I'm not a very good painter, I really struggled using them for these. I don't know why. It's probably because I haven't looked after them properly. And I just bought these off Amazon when I first got back into the hobby, and it's worked out well. So I'm going to be using a synthetic brush. I will also be putting, not necessarily these, because I don't know, I think they're just random cheap maker, but I'm going to be looking at getting some synthetic brushes on the store, just because I think we need a bit more variety, and I actually really like these. So not saying that the Artisopus ones are shit, not at all. I think they're really good, and as Tim says from Witch and Wolf Minis, they have their places, but for something like this where you're trying to sort of be as quick as you can, really, because you want to get out and play, synthetic all the way. So we're going to start with the red. I've got flag red. I'm going to put this on our makeshift wet palette. One thing I do like about the Army Painter paint bottles, one, obviously they're dropper bottles, but two, also they've got a shaking ball on the inside, so it really helps mix the paint up, and it means you're not there shaking for ages, giving yourself carpal tunnel. So here we go. It was an experience painting 4 on a base in one go. As you can see, I haven't got a holder. There probably is holders for these, but I haven't got one, so hence why I'm just holding the base. But actually it works out quite well, because it's quite big. I can sort of stable it on the mat here, because for some reason I've started getting a bit shaky with the painting. I don't know if that's because of the lack of water over Christmas. I don't know, probably. I hope everyone had a good Christmas, and New Year's Eve I definitely drank way too much, and probably like the rest of us ate way too much, but that is part of Christmas, isn't it? We always get an 8-kilo turkey just for 4 of us, so I know that's quite a lot, but we love turkey, so we tend to buy a big bird from our local butchers and treat ourselves, really, because Christmas for us is definitely all about the food rather than anything else. But yeah, I hope everyone had a good Christmas, a good bit of time off. I probably, like the rest of you, are going back to proper work. I say proper work, the gardening side of the whole business on Monday. I think I'll try and get this out. I'm recording this on the Saturday. I'm going to try and get this out on the Sunday. So fingers crossed. What I do with the middle bit of the tunic is you've got these epaulette bits down here that are meant to be white, but what I do is I just block them in red, and then, because then when you lightly go over the epaulettes with the white, you should then see the red tunic underneath. That's the idea anyway, and it did work on the others, but you do have to obviously let these dry before you then start painting over with the white. Don't worry too much about getting white on any of the belts and stuff, because you'll go over them with the white and hopefully tidy them up a bit later on. But yeah, so as I was saying, with the painting the 4, it was a bit of a weird one for me. Obviously it's good, I found it quite good, because you're constantly having to turn the model rather than getting sort of tunnel vision painting from one angle. And it did require a bit of patience, but I think it's worked out quite well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the red on all 4 of these guys, and then we'll come back to the next bit and go from there. Yeah, so yeah, we'll do that. Otherwise, again, you're all going to be here for hours, and I doubt you'll all want to stay here for that long. Plus, I doubt you want to hear me waffle on too much. Now, as you can see here, where I've sprayed, it's not been in the right conditions. I don't know if you can see that, especially on his sleeve there. Don't worry too much, it's not the end of the world. If you do obviously want to paint them properly in like parade ground or for a competition, then obviously yes, that matters. But ultimately, as long as I know the detail on the rest of the collars, I can kind of paint that in, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, okay, we'll come back to it once I've painted the other 4's jackets. Okay, so here we go. We've done all the red now. Yes, there's red in places we don't need red, but that's part of it. That's why I did the coats first, because I knew that we could tidy up later on. Yeah, so what we're going to do now, we're going to do the grey for the pants. Pants? God, I'm not bloody American. For the trousers. So I'm going to mix a bit of matte black and a bit of white. all it is I'm just mixing it on the wet palette. If I show you here, literally a little squirt of white, let me show you that one, and a little squirt of black. And then hopefully, mixing brush, hopefully we get the same grey. I'm going for a slightly darker grey. As it did before. I do apologise. Yeah, I think we'll go with that, I think. If not, if it's not as dark as I would like it, I can always come back and paint over. And actually, it does add a bit more of an effect, because you don't need to go over the whole trousers again then. And it just adds, yeah, a bit of an effect. Now, the reason they're so patchy is because I actually tried it with a dry brush. As you know, I like to try and speed things up, but I have to say it didn't really work as well as intended. I think that's okay. Basically, for the colours on this, I'm just following the box art. Obviously I have put a tone over them, so maybe that's it. Yeah, I think that's the right sort of shade I'm after. It doesn't matter, actually. I'm sure most of you, or some of you, have watched Sharp, and the trousers, they're not all the same shade, so I'm not actually, if all of these figures that I've got to paint don't come out with the same shade trousers, I'm not going to cry about it. Obviously you could be better than me. Oh, I've missed the coat there, look. The tunic, sorry. You could be better than me, and you could, if you wanted them all the same, you could batch up some paint. What you could do is, if you've got an empty dropper bottle, you could use that to mix up some grey, so that everything's uniformed. But you know, that's completely up to you whether you do that or not. If not, then just mix it up every time you want to paint the grey. I could obviously go through and paint all of the tunics, all of the trousers, all of that, all in one go, and I probably will do for the rest, but obviously for the purposes of this video, you guys don't want to see that. Well, I'm sure you probably do for a laugh, but I won't be doing it because I don't have the time to do it all right now. But what I will say is, you could always try dry brushing everything. If you're really good with the dry brush, it might be worth looking at just to speed things up. But I mean, I'm not very good with a dry brush, so I can't really comment, but I found it personally difficult for me, so I unfortunately won't be doing that. I'm also sure if you had an airbrush, that would also speed some things up, but if you're like me and you've just got a paintbrush and paint, yeah, unfortunately we have to do it the old-fashioned way. Right, there you go, that's the grey trousers on. So again, what I'm going to do now is paint the rest of the grey trousers on. I'll put some red on his coat there as well, so I don't miss that, on his tunic, sorry, and then we'll go on with the next bit. Okay, so there we go, that's all the trousers done. Now I think we're going to do the black. So we've got the black boots, hat, the rucksack and the ammo pouch there, and then go from there really. I'm probably going to speed a few things up just because it's probably going to take a while, and so if you see, what I'll probably do is do a time-lapse video, so you see me painting quickly, and then I'll probably talk over what I'm going to do, but we'll do the black first, and then go from there. So as I said, we're just using a bit of black. I'm still using the size 5 synthetic brush that I've been using for everything, just to let you know. Now what I found with most blacks, to be honest, is you will need to go over them again. I think that might be just where I've touched them with my fingers, or just where the paint's been a bit thin, but we'll see. It's probably due to my fingers touching the miniature a lot of the time, especially with this one, because obviously I haven't got a painting handle, so which does help stop that problem. But if you're painting Warhammer or bolt action where it's individual figures, you've got a painting handle, you don't tend to get that problem. I didn't find I had to do very many bits again when painting the bolt action figures in the last video. So I mean, with the boots, I will go over them again if I need to, but because I'm going to put some basing on at the very end, probably not in this video, but this is probably a start of a little mini series, again a bit like the bolt action where we did bits in stages, because otherwise you'll just be here all day. And then we'll do the basing at the very end. But at least today you'll see the bulk of the colours coming on, and then probably in the next video we'll do just tidying up the slightly smaller detailed stuff, and then basing, because ultimately once you've done all the big colours, effectively it's white. So actually getting all these colours, sorry, I had a nip. Getting all these colours done now in the first video is definitely helpful, I hope, because then you've got an idea of, just gives you an idea of how, I say easy, nothing's ever easy with, well, I always find it difficult, I always find painting difficult, but it's because I just don't do enough of it. Just get the shadow done there. Now obviously you will find sometimes a thinner brush will help you in bits, especially neatening everything up. I mean, I'm not that fussed, so I use the size 5 brush for everything. But you see there, look on the boot, I've obviously touched that when moving it around. So I'll just go over that now. Quickly do his haversack, rucksack, just so you can sort of see it. And as you know, you can probably see it on the video, but maybe not, but you're lucky. Well, I'm lucky. But I'll be honest, there's bits that I'm going to have missed, purely because of the way I think, well, my excuse is because of the way the models are. Now, I'm sure if I'd painted these individually, I probably won't have missed as much, but because
I'd like to get playing this year quickly as possible. I don't mind skipping a few bits. And as I think as I've said before in the bolt action videos, you know, if you're looking at your miniatures sort of 2 feet away, you're not really going to notice it. I mean, what I found is actually once I'm finished, and I did it on those ones that I did the test on, once I've finished, if there was stuff, when I was sat back, if there was stuff I could see and it was annoying me, I went and sorted, and everything else I didn't. Just because it doesn't really bother me. Hence why this isn't a painting tutorial video, more just to see how everyone is, let everyone know what's happening with the store, and just let you lot follow my journey into actually playing some of the games we sell, because ultimately that's what I'd like to do. I still haven't had that bolt action game yet, but again, I've had a busy few months, especially the lead up to Christmas. Unfortunately, our Rams, we've had a few issues, a few deaths, which was really sad. I know some of them were due to go in the freezer. I apologise if that's not everyone's cup of tea, but some of them weren't, and unfortunately we had quite a lot of issues with fireworks. And yeah, so unfortunately I haven't had a chance to even set up any games or anything, but there you go. That's so you can sort of see them coming together now, and actually how little there is left. Really, you've got the cuffs, the collars, the rifle or musket, should I say, the bed roll on top, a bit of brass and a bit of touch up with white, and a white on the epaulets on the tunic there, and blue on the shoulders as well. I will say there are some with different shoulder pads, noting different roles of that group, so I will be pointing them out in a few of the videos as we get to them. But yeah, so there we go. So that's pretty much the block colours on. I'll quickly do the others. Obviously one's not got a hat on, so he'll just get brown hair, but we won't do that today. But yeah, I'll quickly go through that now. I'll show you all 4 of them at the end, and then we'll probably move on to the next video. There we go, just on the last geezer's hat, or shako, should I say. Now these, because they're later, I believe they covered up, these are wraps that covered up the shakos. I don't actually know why, but I will find out. Yeah, so as you can see, I've sort of done all the ammo pouches, done the haversacks, rucksacks, and then this is the last guy here for the black. If you are following along, I know we've skipped bits, so it looks like it's taken me really quick time to finish what I've done here, but I can assure you it's not. I started at about 3 o'clock-ish, maybe 10 past, and I think it's about 10 past 4 now. So to do what I've done today, granted, obviously filming it for you guys it's not a moan, but it does take a bit longer. So I'd imagine, I reckon, if you stick a good podcast on, there's lots I'd recommend. Waffy would be one of them, obviously, but there we go. Or a film. which I have done. It's not playing in the background now, obviously, but I stuck Highlander on. I reckon if you're doing a block of 4, I reckon and you're quite a competent painter, like you've painted a few minis before, I reckon you could probably smash out one of these in about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Obviously with a bit of drying time, touch up and all that good stuff as well. So yeah, I think that's not a bad amount of time for that. And then obviously the rest, obviously you'd have to, I don't think any, I would love to see someone smash it out in a day, but I think you'd have to have either a lot of kit to do it, like airbrush and stuff like that, or you'd potentially, I don't know, you'd have to be bloody good at painting, wouldn't you? But yeah, there we go. So that's it for today's video. Thank you for joining me. In the next video, what we'll do is we'll just do the slightly more detailed bits, touch up a few bits like that black on his arm there and a few red bits and stuff. But as I said, the reason I did the red first is because that's the big block. It doesn't matter if you get it in places because you're touching up later on. So there you go. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. And that's it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. If I could ask a very small favour, if you could just like and subscribe and tell all your friends about the channel and also the store as well, that'd be fantastic. That would be really great. It just helps grow the channel even more and helps support the store even further. As I said in the video, on the next one, we'll start doing some more of the details and stuff like that. If I did them all in one video, as I said, we'd be here for days. So I've left that for another video. Hopefully it won't be too long before the next one, and I'll see you next time.